Thousands of South Carolina families rely on child care workers, but how much do you know about what actually happens at daycare? It's taken dozens of hours and stacks of documents to get a closer look, one that every parent needs to see.
News 19's Ashley Walters investigated what parents may not know about what's happening behind daycare doors.
It's a job of joy, responsibility, and challenges.
The children are probably the easiest to work with, believe it or not. And you have your parents and your staff, of course.
Laverne Neesmith runs Smart Kids in Lexington. It's one of hundreds of Department of Social Services reports News 19 has viewed, and one of dozens we've visited and phoned to ask for on-camera interviews. Since the beginning of 2010, DSS has noted 32 deficiencies and complaints at Smart Kids.
We want to do our best for our children.
One complaint was from a parent who was given the wrong bottle from the daycare. The 11-week-old baby was supposed to drink breast milk. Neesmith admits the error.
We were in the process of labeling the bottles, and we were helping the person in the baby room, and one of us, someone else, labeled it twice.
She says the child never drank the wrong milk, and she's taken steps to avoid the problem since.
The parent was upset.
DSS deficiencies and complaints for the last 36 months are online for every licensed daycare in our state. I've sorted through the hundreds of daycares here in the Midlands. Some daycares have more than 100 deficiencies and complaints, others have none. It's valuable information, but behind every line is a story.
If you're looking at health and safety violations, it could be something as simple as frayed carpet, or it could be a big hole in the wall.
Lee Bolick is Director of Child Care Services for DSS. She says at every commercial daycare they make unannounced visits and follow up on complaints. Those files are available to the public.
We have had about 41 facilities, I believe, that have been shut down since 2010. And generally they're shut down after a long series of violations.
DSS investigates to make sure violations are resolved so daycares are not shut down. Here's some of what we found in our 2-month investigation. Dozens of daycares in our state have been cited for issues with staff records.
No provider should be employing a caregiver who does not have the appropriate educational requirements or background checks.
It was one of several recurring issues that made DSS place Bayview Baptist Church Child Development Center on a corrective action plan. The director was unavailable for comment, but a note on the door said they voluntarily closed their doors last week. DSS looks for things you can too: peeling and chipping paint, exposed wires, broken fences and doors, and refrigerators, sink water, and entire buildings not kept at proper temperatures. DSS files say specialists were on site when one caregiver at Faro Hills Daycare 2 in Columbia watched a soap opera on TV with children present. We were also declined an interview with Columbia's Children's World on Two Notch Road. There, a caregiver was seen listening to inappropriate music. They were also cited for not having milk. At Muller's Guardian Angels in Irmo, milk was kept that had expired weeks earlier. Smiling Faces in Richland County was cited 3 times by DSS because the telephone had been disconnected or was out of service. That facility was cited in 2008 and 2010 by DHEC for needing a lead paint risk assessment. We're told they are voluntarily closing the daycare down.
The daycare in this area, it doesn't seem to be thriving like it should.
By searching through the files at DSS, we found that at Gateway Academy on Columbiana Drive, a child was bitten 7 times in 4 months. The biter was not properly supervised to control the issue. Other deficiencies included a child care provider who forced a child's head on the mat, and a caregiver observed using profane language towards children. At Southeast Child on Elm Tree Road in Richland County, a teacher was observed yelling and cursing at children in the 4-year-old class. DSS states that teacher is no longer working there. At Conyers Early Learning Center on Columbia College Drive, DSS says a bus driver used profanity towards a 6-year-old, made her get off the bus in the middle of the road, and continued to use humility language at the child again when he picked her up. They also declined an interview. Supervision is also a concern. DSS says a 4-year-old was injured at the La Petite Academy on Platte Springs Road, and the caregiver was not aware of how that injury occurred. In a statement they gave to News 19, La Petite's corporate office says, in part, quote, they are committed to providing their students with the highest quality care in a safe, nurturing environment. At Children's World on Two Notch Road in Columbia, DSS reported an after-school child was left alone on a bus. Infants were left on the changing table unsupervised, and 2 boys aged 2 were alone phone in the restroom. At the Sunshine House Daycare on St. Andrews Road, DSS founded a complaint of improper supervision. They say a 5-year-old child climbed the fence on the playground and left the facility without being noticed by the caregiver. But DSS records show many sides. Of the 48 Sunshine House facilities licensed in our state, some have dozens of complaints and deficiencies. Others have few or none. Sunshine House corporate office declined an on-camera interview regarding any facility. It instead released this statement. For more than 35 years, the Sunshine House Incorporated has provided early care and education for young children in safe, licensed learning centers. We work with local regulatory agencies throughout 9 states to follow guidelines and meet or surpass the state licensing standards. We look forward to continuing our partnership with these agencies to protect the safety and well-being of all children in our care. DSS says many children are in healthy, happy, and educational environments.
And when we see caregivers really taking time with each child and speaking in a kind tone and being positive, to me that's the most enriching environment you can put your child in.
The search for the best fit is not as easy as an internet search. Bunny Ward, Director of Early Education at United Way, says to help keep your children safe, you must ask questions beforehand, do your homework, and be diligent and observant once your child is enrolled.
Is it a clean place to be? Does it appear that staff are attentive to hygiene and proper diaper changing?
Start looking and planning early and ask a lot of questions. Calling United Way's 211 connects you to a call center and experts. Also, DSS records are available. Start online, but to get the full reports, you have to request the file at DSS, something parents rarely do. Then follow up with questions at the child care facility.
A child care center that is of higher quality or that is a good fit for children will welcome parents asking questions, will welcome parents visiting, and is a very parent-friendly sort of center.
Ashley Walters, News 19, WLTX.
Well, Ashley has posted resources for every parent online at WLTX.com. She's included the link to the DSS search engine that she was talking about. And our investigation continues into daycares in the Midlands. Soon we're going to bring you what we found when it comes to at-home daycares across the state.